Max Verstappen has shown he isn't afraid to make an overtake when battling it out on track. From thrilling passes on the outside at high-speed circuits to daring moves on the inside at tight corners, Verstappen's ability to overtake his rivals has become a staple of his racing career. How did he master the art of overtaking? Stay tuned as we take a closer look at some of Max's most incredible overtakes and uncover the secrets behind his success on the track. Max Verstappen's incredible overtake move at the 2022 Japanese Grand Prix truly showcased his skill as a top-notch driver. With the track conditions less than ideal, Verstappen was faced with a daunting challenge as he battled against Charles Leclerc for the lead. But instead of backing down, Verstappen rose to the occasion and pulled off one of the most impressive overtakes of the year. As the race began in the rain, Verstappen and Leclerc started on intermediates, with Verstappen on the outside and Leclerc on the inside. Leclerc, sensing an opportunity, tried to take the lead from Verstappen on the all-important first turn at Suzuka, but Verstappen had other plans. He fearlessly held his own on the greasy side of the track, and with precision and skill, he overtook Leclerc on the outside. As they approached turn 1, Leclerc was forced to back away, and Verstappen took the lead. After overtaking, Verstappen drove away from the rest of the field, and even the red flag didn't throw a spanner in the works for the Dutchman. This is just one of the many examples of his impressive overtaking skills. In modern Formula 1 cars, overtaking is not always an easy task, which makes Verstappen's ability to do so even more impressive. To better understand how he mastered the art of overtaking, it's essential to examine his early days in racing, starting from his karting days and how he was trained. The Verstappen family is no stranger to the world of racing, with a father Jos, who is a former Formula 1 driver, and a mother, Sophie Kumpen, who's a champion karter. It's no surprise that young Max Verstappen was destined for greatness behind the wheel. However, his journey to the top was not just a result of his natural talent and inherited passion, but also a result of his formative years on the kart tracks of Europe. At the age of 4, Max began pestering his father for a go-kart. Jos, knowing the dangers and challenges of racing, insisted that his son wait until he was 6 to start. But for young Max, another 2 years felt like half a lifetime, and he wasn't prepared to wait. So, like any determined child, he took matters into his own hands and went straight to his mother. Persuasive as ever, Max successfully convinced his mother to convince his father to buy him a go-kart. And thus, Max's racing career began. He quickly proved to be a natural on the track, and his passion and drive for the sport only continued to grow as he honed his skills and competed in various races across Europe. Fast forward 5 or 6 years, and Max Verstappen's passion for racing has only continued to flourish. The Verstappens shared a karting workshop with the Pex family, whose sons Jorrit and Stan were also talented young karters. The Pex brothers were the perfect playmates for young Max, and the trio would race against each other in private test sessions away from the regulated competition of the junior karting series. It was during these private test sessions that Max was able to truly hone his racecraft. He was able to push the limits of his kart and himself, experimenting with different techniques and strategies. And on occasion, he would receive some lessons from a true master of the art, his father Jos. The former Formula 1 driver offered his guidance and advice to his young son, helping him to become an even more skilled and competitive racer. One major part of these lessons was the art of overtaking. Here is what Jos said about how he trained Max. Even at karting level, I tried to teach him as much as I could. There are so many aspects to consider: the driving itself, how you overtake, then the setup of your car. Overtaking was a huge issue for me because you can overtake the wrong way, in my opinion. If Max lost time in an overtaking maneuver, I tried to explain to him how he could do it better. This went as far as forbidding him to attack on the straights or in places that seemed too easy for me. I told him, you're only allowed to attack here, here and there, otherwise not. And those were corners where the others might not attack. That's one of the reasons why we have the impression in Formula 1 today that Max can overtake anywhere. An overtaking maneuver is not a product of chance. A driver has to keep a sharp eye on his opponent, spy on his weaknesses, and really get to grips with his rival. Max trained and internalized this for years in karting. Well, Jos did a great job. Max took in the lessons and he comprehended them quite well. Right from Max's debut in Formula 1, he's always amazed fans with his overtaking abilities, making some of the most memorable moves in Formula 1 history. At the Belgium Grand Prix in 2015, Max Verstappen caught the attention of a lot of people in the Formula 1 world. The young Dutchman had been steadily gaining ground on Felipe Nasser in his Sauber, and as the two approached the Blanchimont corner, Verstappen saw an opportunity. With a boldness that belied his age, he pulled his car alongside Nasser's on the outside line of the turn, and as the two cars hurtled through the corner, it seemed as if Verstappen would fall behind. But he didn't. With a masterful display of skill, he kept his car within the track limit and emerged from the corner in perfect position for the series of chicanes that followed. With Nasser now in his sight, Verstappen launched his attack. He swooped past the Sauber through the chicanes. The move earned him the title of having the best overtake move of 2015. We saw another remarkable move from Verstappen during the soaking wet afternoon at Interlagos in 2016. Max Verstappen proved that he's not only a fearless and aggressive driver, but also a master of strategy and patience. While his move on Rosberg quite rightly caught the crowd's attention, his battle with Sebastian Vettel later in the race truly showcased his measured approach to overtaking. Verstappen was on fresher tyres than Vettel at the time, and he used his wide line through turn 3 to find the extra grip that had been so effective against Rosberg early in the race. But he wasn't as close to Vettel as he had been to Rosberg, and instead of passing on the following straight, he used the extra momentum to try to line up a move around the outside of turn 4. The Red Bull just had its nose ahead of the Ferrari as they reached the braking zone, but Vettel was in no mood to yield and hung the teenager out to dry on the exit. Rather than explore the grip in the runoff area, Verstappen saw discretion as the better part of valor and filtered back behind Vettel to start planning another attack through the second sector of the lap. He used wide lines through turn 10 and turn 11, which also offered significantly more grip than Vettel's more conventional approach. As they approached turn 12, Verstappen was able to switch to the inside of the track in order to attack once more. What followed was later described as Vettel as not correct, as the four-time champion found himself on the receiving end of the treatment he had doled out to Verstappen at turn 4. But where Verstappen had backed off, Vettel kept his foot in, resulting in the Ferrari clattering across the curbs, losing momentum and ultimately losing the position. This race was a testament to Verstappen's intelligence, patience and determination. Now, according to data compiled by Pirelli after the 2016 F1 season, Verstappen completed a total of 78 overtakes during the season's 21 races, including 18 for Toro Rosso and 60 for Red Bull, for an average of 3.7 per race. Meanwhile, Daniel Ricciardo, the teenager's teammate, managed to overtake 61 cars, which would have been an all-time record in and of itself if not for Max's sensation and spectacular overtaking skills. Since then, Verstappen has gone on to make some astonishing overtakes in several Formula 1 races. Max is a strong embodiment that a driver's qualities do not come down to nature versus nurture, but both. Many people saw him as the obvious successor to Lewis Hamilton, and in 2021, he was successful enough to end Hamilton's title streak. In 2022, Max dominated the grid with his impressive pace and unmatchable overtaking ability, thanks to the early lessons he got from his father when he was still a kid. So, what's your thoughts about Max Verstappen's overtaking skills? Let us know in the comment section down below. Now, if you enjoyed the video, please make sure to like, subscribe and click the notification bell to be notified of our next uploads. Thank you for watching and we'll see you again soon.